Welcome to Movie Vault. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most terrifying and mysterious creatures in Stranger Things, the Mind Flayer. Introduced in Season 2, this towering, otherworldly entity isn't just another monster. It's the true mastermind of the Upside Down, a being far more powerful and sinister than anything Hawkins has ever faced. So, buckle up, because we're about to break down everything you need to know about the Mind Flayer, its origins, abilities, motivations, and its chilling influence over Hawkins. What is the Mind Flayer? The Mind Flayer, also referred to as the Shadow Monster, is an enormous and highly intelligent entity from the Upside Down. Unlike the Demogorgon from Season 1, which was more of a predatory creature, the Mind Flayer is a conscious, malevolent force with hive mind control, making it a true overlord of the Dark Dimension. Imagine a nightmarish, spider-like creature, stretching hundreds of feet tall, with sprawling, shadowy limbs twisting across the sky. But what makes the Mind Flayer truly terrifying isn't just its appearance, it's its ability to control and corrupt everything it touches. From the moment it appears in Stranger Things 2, it becomes clear that this isn't just another monster. It's a cosmic-level threat, one that sees humanity as nothing more than insects to be assimilated or destroyed. The Mind Flayer's connection to the Upside Down. Unlike other creatures from the Upside Down, which act on instinct, the Mind Flayer has a clear goal: to spread its influence and conquer the human world. It exists in the Upside Down, a parallel dimension that mirrors our own, but is twisted, decayed, and filled with death. But the Mind Flayer isn't just a ruler of this dark dimension. It is the Upside Down itself. Every vine, every shadowy mist, every demonic creature in that world is an extension of its will. It doesn't just live in the Upside Down. It is the Upside Down, making it nearly impossible to destroy. So, when 11 closed the gate at the end of Season 1, trapping the Demogorgon inside, it wasn't the end of the Upside Down's influence. The Mind Flayer was still lurking, waiting for another way into Hawkins, and it found its way through Will Byers. The Mind Flayer's possession of Will Byers. Season 2 takes a much darker turn when it reveals that the Mind Flayer doesn't need to physically enter our world. It can possess and control people from a distance. After surviving the Upside Down in Season 1, Will Byers begins experiencing terrifying visions of a monstrous, shadowy figure. These aren't just nightmares, they're premonitions, warnings that the Mind Flayer is breaking through into Hawkins. Slowly but surely, the Mind Flayer infects Will, using him as a spy and a vessel. This possession allows it to see and hear everything Will experiences, making it one step ahead of Hawkins' heroes at every turn. And the more control it gains, the more pain and suffering Will endures. He begins speaking in cryptic phrases, reacting violently to heat and drawing disturbing images of tunnels spreading beneath Hawkins, a sign that the Mind Flayer is already expanding its reach into our world. This possession isn't just a physical invasion, it's a psychological horror, trapping Will in his own mind while the Mind Flayer pulls the strings. The Mind Flayer's army. The Upside Down's expansion. As the Mind Flayer gains control over Will, it starts spreading its influence beneath Hawkins. The town's pumpkins rot, the soil turns black and lifeless, and underground vines begin to grow, creating a network that connects our world to the Upside Down. This is where the Mind Flayer's true power is revealed. It doesn't just want to consume, it wants to corrupt and control everything. Through its hive mind abilities, it begins infecting small creatures, like rats and demodogs, forcing them to serve as extensions of its will. And as its infection spreads, it creates an army, a force that will eventually lead to the horrifying events of Season 3. The final battle, closing the gate. As the Mind Flayer's control over Will grows stronger, our heroes realize that they have to cut off its connection to our world. Since Will is acting as a host, the only way to break free is to exorcise the Mind Flayer from his body. And the key to doing that? Heat. The Mind Flayer thrives in cold temperatures, using them to survive in our world. So Joyce, Jonathan, and Mike force Will into a heated sauna-like room, turning up the temperature until the Mind Flayer is forced out of his body. Meanwhile, 11 and the others storm Hawkins' lab, where the gate to the Upside Down is still open. In an epic display of power, 11 channels all of her energy, using her telekinetic abilities to seal the gate shut, cutting off the Mind Flayer's access to our world. And just like that, the battle seems to be over. The gate is closed, Will is free, and Hawkins returns to normal, or so it seems. The Mind Flayers return, the shadow still looms. As Season 2 ends, we get one of the most chilling moments in Stranger Things history. The kids are at the snowball dance, enjoying a rare moment of peace, but in the Upside Down, the Mind Flayer is still watching. The final shot reveals its towering, shadowy form, looming over Hawkins Middle School, proving that it isn't gone, just waiting for its next move. This moment perfectly sets up the events of Season 3, where the Mind Flayer evolves into an even more terrifying force, using the Flayed to create a monstrous new body in our world. Final thoughts. The Mind Flayer is more than just a monster. It's an ancient, cosmic-level entity with intelligence, strategy, and an insatiable hunger to spread and consume. It isn't just interested in attacking Hawkins. It wants complete domination. And what makes it even scarier is that it never truly dies. Even after being cut off from our world, it finds new ways to return, growing stronger and more ruthless with each attack. So, what do you think? Is the Mind Flayer the greatest villain in Stranger Things history? And what do you think its true origins are? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dive recaps, breakdowns, and theories right here on Movie Vault.